Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch Atlantic Showdown. $100,000 up for grabs. And of course, it all's going to be happening on the 20th and 21st of August. Of course, to get there, we need teams to qualify. And it is the final week, Jason. Kaplan is joining me.
Yeah.
Final week of qualifiers. And sure as hell, we're seeing a lot of teams signing up because they're suddenly like, it's our last chance.
It's kind of odd that we have more teams sign up for the last qualifier than the one that happened just last week. But it does make sense for a lot of the teams. And we still have a couple of big names in there fighting for their chance. Most particularly, Overwatch Kings played every single week and just haven't been able to, unfortunately, get through.
And they've been in the, or they've been at the round of 32, round of 16, or round of 8, all 3 times so far. They've just not quite made it. They're the #1 seed today, so we're going to try and follow their bracket. But before we get there, we have first matchup. Obviously, they're going in with a bye. It's going to be Wolfpack versus the Sons of Flunkyness.
You know,
but anyway, guys, I'm going to give these guys a ready up because we've kept them waiting long enough. It's going to be Kings Road to begin with in the round of 1 to 8. So you know how these matches go. Round of 1 to 8. Don't really know how it's going to go. Don't really know the teams. We're just going to go with what we see and hope that it's a great game. We've had an hour-and-a-half first game before, so we never really know what to expect. We've also had
It's true.
I think it was a 10-minute game last time as well. But we don't know. We don't know. It's going to be Kings Row either way. Let's drop into the game. Jason, what do we make of, certainly Overwatch, obviously? We've had the meta set itself out. We should mention, actually, Anna is enabled.
She's enabled.
The first week.
But whether or not we're actually going to see her played, I think is
see, this is what gets me right. All the teams kicked up such a god-awful stink about, I want to play Anna, and then nobody plays it.
Yeah.
Nobody plays it at all. I think Nevix was the only person I saw playing it over the weekend. It's the only person. I've not seen anyone else playing it, and sure as hell, look at the lineups, not an Anna to be seen. So,
what a surprise.
All of fuss for nothing.
Yeah. Either way, they do have the option to play it if they want to. Maybe we'll see some more Genjis play with that one as well. But like I said, these two teams, really not much known about them, but we should introduce them to you guys who might want to know who they are. On the side of PPT, Wolfpack. On the defending side, we have Decino on Reaper, Roofy over on Mercy, Chills on Roadhog, Worsty, Worstfee.
It could be Wurst, because it's German. It is a German team, so it's got to be Wurstfee.
I'm going to call him Worstfee.
No, it's Wurstfee.
On McCree, Eru on Reinhardt, Murky on Lucio.
Come on, Jason. You've done more German lessons than I have. On the other side of the Sons of Flunkyness, let's see if they're flunking away to victory or not. Stillburn's going to be on the Mercy. We're going to have Nero Devil on Lucio. You can hear him bouncing around. Anon's going to be on the Reinhardt in front. Sauron on the Reaper pushing out. We're going to have a... Let's actually follow him. It's going to be a Farah, because we haven't seen too many Farahs. Yeah, Sawali and Silent. So no McCrees, Silent on the Soldier, and as I say, a Farah. We haven't seen a Farah all last week, really.
Well, I think this is going to be kind of, unfortunately not saying too harsh, the quality of teams that we're going to have, because Farah is not played at the top level that much anymore, maybe on a couple of unique niche parts of a map, but because McCree is so strong now, because of the damage you can do long range, you have to expect to not see too much Farah. But Silent here on the Soldier, doing some decent chip, doing some good damage with the Helix rockets. They do have the Roadhog ahead of them to give him a little bit of, the Reinhardt behind him to actually give him some shielding, but he's not actually using that positioning. Nice
dodge, just about avoids the fire strike there. But, we were talking about the Farahs. Obviously, the counter to it always used to be the Roadhog. Lands the hook onto a Reaper, catches Sauron around the back. You can't just drift yourself in there and expect to get away with it. We've had a minute gone. They haven't even made an attack on the point yet. They're waiting to get a pick. There we go. Maybe. No, because defensive got another one. So
yeah, Worsty got the kill on the Sirwali. And that's what you're going to see. McCree versus Farah every time. Farah should ideally lose in this situation when they're equally skilled. Not to mention being damaged by his Mercy out of Roofy is giving him a lot of extra DPS to make him go a long ways. And that Mercy off to the side. Stillburn has to be careful. Doesn't want to get hooked in because he's relatively close to having his ultimate.
How did that catch on him? That was a bit of a dodgy hook, if you like to say. But another hook, that's another Soldier down. It's interesting to see, actually, obviously, sure, they're not going to be as high skilled as, say, maybe even OW Kings who's going to be coming up. It's interesting to see the difference between the teams, because while they're obviously catching out, they're getting a hook, so they're catching out, say, a Farah or a Soldier. Ordinarily, we'd see the other teams just pile straight forward, push up, clear them out, wipe out that spawn. They're not doing it. Obviously, they're sitting back, but they don't need to be fair. They're 2 minutes in so far. You can look at the ultis. They've got a stack of them out there. We're going to get Sword 76 tactical buys. Let's see if he can get anything.
And Silent going in by himself. Fire Barrage coming through from the top side. Wally picks up 2, but Worsley secures 2 himself with the Deadeye coming through. And there's the res out of Stillburn to give him a second chance for this fight here. Worstvi, or Vostvi, his aim's a little shaky, but he still can hit the shots.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing that much damage from Rage, you're not going to tuck into the corner there. Anon's trying his best, but Chills is going to come around the side. He wrecks them out there. Destino as well managed to drop his ulti. Die in the hotel. I mean, when you're all stuck in a hotel, the last thing you want is a Reaper coming in with a Death Blossom.
Eru, what was he doing? All right, so he was just kind of standing there, didn't even have his shield up, took a rocket to the face, or to the feet most importantly. And the hook's gonna miss again out of Chills. But what Sons of Flunkyness is trying to look at what they need to do is just, well, first, get off the Pharah. Like, that's almost just, like, the first thing you're gonna need to do. He hasn't been impactful. Yeah, he's spamming away at the shield, but Silent should be the one doing that, not him for the most part. They need that McCree to come in from the side to give him a little bit of control. They do have Reaper finally on the high ground here, saw him, but he immediately gets forced back.
Trying to go aggressive. Flashbang missed as well there. So Versti manages to drop down, gets himself the kill on the Reinhardt, dodges out as well, and now he's going to have a Pharah on the ground, but he actually manages to come out on top with the kill, but now he's back alive. He's got himself his Deadeye available if he wants to use it, but he gets picked off around the side. Finally, Sauron manages to get himself a good Death Blossom, and now they're forced into the hotel. We may actually see the first point capped out.
I think they're going to do it here. It's going to be contested for now, but you can see PPT Wolfpack just trying to hold on, just trying to delay as long as they possibly can. They're waiting for Roofy to come back in, not to mention Shield's popping the whole hog to knock them away off the point here. But the Sound Barrier perfectly timed. Gives them the HP they need to survive this one. And then there's a Sound Barrier coming out of Murky. Give him even more health to take this point back.
Oh, he's taking Sauron down. And look, the kill feed. It's all blue right now. Are they going to be able to deal with the Mercy? They do. Stillburn gets picked off. And the point is defended. They got themselves the first marker, but that is all. And now with only 7 seconds left, they have to try and contest this one. The Pharah's going to get himself his ulti down, but Sir Wally gets, well, not a great deal. Just a simple kill on Chills. And that will be all she wrote. So, simple job for Wolfpack. Held out very easily. No distance obviously made. They just need to capture that first point, and they will go 1-0 up. It is best of 3. Plenty of time.
It's funny that they're called the Wolfpack, PVT Wolfpack. My brother was in the army, still technically is, I think. And his group of friends that he met in the army, they're called the Wolfpack, and they actually have tattoos on certain parts of their body, not to say where my brother's is, of a wolf, like, paw for Wolfpack. Paw. Yeah.
Is that on his butt?
It's on his ass.
It's got to be on the butt. There's got to be a paw on a butt. Yeah. But the Wolfpack's like that's a traditional for the submarines in Germany. Well, it was the Wolf, but that was the original Wolfpack, which I'm guessing this may be towards because they are German, and technically it'd be Wolfpack as well if we were. To
well, what's the German name for wolf? I don't actually know that. I know dog's Hund.
That's a very good point. I don't know actually.
It's probably something Hund, like gross Hund. Because Germans like that when it comes to like naming things. They it
might just
take
be
like
Wolf.
the base name.
Wolf.
I want to look it up. I'm going to look it up. Actually, no, Uber's going to tell me in chat. I don't even need to look it up when we do get to it.
Answers on a postcard, people.
But what we have to look at now is Sons of Flunkyness. If they want to actually force us into a King's, or not to King's Row, into a King of the Hill overtime tiebreaker map, they need to hold this first point and not let it slip away.
Yeah, of course, that is how it works. We don't have the coin flip. It will go to Ilios, which is actually the decider. Anon's going to be on Reinhardt once again. Nero Devil is going to be on the Hog this time, see if he can make that work. Sauron will be on Reaper just the same as he was before.
No
Stillburn
McCree.
Also. But yeah, no McCree. And so Wally's sticking on the Pharah. So a little behind in the meta, maybe. Lucio also going to be for Silent. On the attacking side, looks like we may well get a Genji in there. Vus is going to be on the McCree once again. Desno is going to be on the Genji. We're going to have a Reinhardt in there, a Reaper as well for Chills. Rufan going to be on the Zenyatta and Lucio. So very much on meta, this team. Wolfpack, we'll see how it works.
I'm a little bit surprised to not actually see Zenyatta come out of Sons of Flunkyness. They were more than happy to stick with the standard support comp of the previous meta. But here we go, they're pushing out. Coming around the side as well, looking for a little bit of high ground control. That Reinhardt went in too deep here. If he gets picked off immediately, they can rush this point.
That was a big error there. It was Versvi that manages to catch it down. He's going to get himself 3 shots from high ground. He's a kind of easy shot at the moment for the Pharah, though. That's, you know, while Pharahs may not be in the meta so much, you can't just stand and face them point blank. He's going to get himself a full flankaroo route at the back here. He's looking to try and get the shots on the Mercy. Misses the first 2. He's going to get around the back. He's got Pharah directly below him. I'm not sure if he realizes that, but he's landing the easy headshots on the Hog, as you would expect, and there is a simple Pharah in the face. Chills gets himself the kill. Down, there's going to be the Farah going down, and this may well be map number 1 already in the books.
Yeah, the Deadeye coming through as well. Going to take out the Mercy, who goes a little bit too far with the Guardian Angel, and they're going to pick up the Reinhardt and close out our first map here in this best of 3.
Yeah, that was pretty straightforward. First attack, it took them a minute actually. It was a bit of a rope-a-dope move. They went all the way around the side, all the way around the back, but now they're just going to run interference. And there is the first point getting capped out.
So you're right, Wolf is
Wolfpack.
Wolf in German.
It is Wolf.
Yeah,
Wolf,
it is Wolf. Yeah. Actually, something really weird I was looking at there. Wurstvi, it looks like he has like low FPS because when he moves his mouse, it's so stuttery. It's not fluid. And it's not on our side because everyone else is perfectly fine, but I feel like he has low FPS, which freaks me out.
Who was
to
that?
play McCree, Wurstvi?
Oh, Wurstvi, yeah.
To play McCree and hit those shots and have low FPS is not easy.
Well, that was Deathno's straightforward Death Blossom in the hotel. When they're all grouped up in there, it's pretty easy for a Reaper, honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it very hard for you, does it? So, it is going to be, of course, Sons of Flunkyness map choice. Okay. Next.
This is where I say don't go.
Yeah. They all left.
Why'd they leave?
They closed the lobby and all left.
Why?
GG!
Why would they do that? It's a best of 3.
Teams, you should probably learn the rules of a tournament before you start to play.
Or you should learn that you were in your social options and not actually looking at the lobby.
No, they did all leave.
No, they didn't.
No, outside of me pressing O, not that one. They did all leave. This team had all gone. It's all come back.
I'm sorry, I don't. Because when they load back in, there's the little loading icon.
Hmm?
I don't think they actually left.
Maybe I just pressed the wrong key.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
I'll take you back to Sins of Flunkyness. I'll let you go. Ilios.
They can't choose Ilios.
It's not in the map pool, is it?
No, it's the tiebreaker map.
In the pool, it's tiebreaker map. They should probably learn this as well.
Should probably look at the map pool before you go into the game.
I love
they
being
changed
admin, by the way,
Ilios,
guys.
but they can't go to Ilios. So
Yeah,
tell
no,
them
I've already told them. They said KK.
I'm a little bit worried that they're going to start the game with it on Ilios.
No. They were right. I love being admin for the day.
So Dorado. Okay, hey, there we go. We're on to a correct map in the pool. So yeah, we're going to Dorado. And it looks like PPT Wolfpack going to be sticking to the defending side. They haven't actually swapped at all.
There we go.
And Sons of Flunkyness is going to be on the attack.
Yes, so let's see if they can hit the payload this time around. Obviously, it's not a hybrid map, so they just need to push it. See if they can reach the first point, which could be tricky. Honestly,
it's not hybrid, like you said.
Held it. I think Wolfpack might actually do it again. They look pretty solid in comparison to the Flunkyness.
I think
they look flunky.
At least they're staying true to their name.
Yeah.
Jinx. Anyways, yeah, so if they can stick with Farah, I don't really see them doing too well. Like, Farah's actually not bad in the first point of the map, but to consistently play Farah the entire time, if Wurstvi can hit these shots, the chance of staying alive on Farah is really hard, and ideally you'd get punished in an ideal situation.
I mean, there's a couple of things really why Farah has switched out. We should probably talk about it. A, obviously the McCree coming back, but B, Zenyatta's in there as well. And you know, he's just got a Discord orb you, and you're down in a couple of, I think what, 2, 3. I think it's 3 hits, isn't it, from the orbs? No, actually, no. Once the Discord orb's on you, I think it's 2.
It depends where it hits, if it's in the head or not. But you die extremely quickly. I think that's the point you're trying to make.
I mean, either way, you're going to die fast, and they just proved, and there you go, Rufin's on it now. He's on the Zenyatta. So if he plays Farah, which he does have selected at the moment, so Wally, he is going to have a bad time. There's also a Roadhog in there that's going to hook him. That used to be the only solution was a Roadhog and a Soldier, but there's so many options now that can wreck a Farah in midair. It's almost made her a very tough, and almost why the majority of teams we're seeing, certainly with the meta last week, switched away from playing Farah.
Yeah, so we're going to see if maybe Sons of Flunkyness are going to change away from it. Ideally, they would. But this is something different, though, out of them, right? Stillburn, he's playing Zenyatta. So we're going to see Zenyatta Lucio instead of the Mercy Lucio comp that we saw on King's Row. Which
Silent on Tracer as well. So they've adapted. Just not sure if it's in the right way.
So your front line's a little weak in this. So Tracer and Farah aren't going to be really your front line at all. They're not going to be attacking the front line. They're looking for people in the back. Tracer's looking for the Zenyatta, looking for the Lucio maybe the McCree. Farah's going to be looking for the back line as well. All they have in the front line is Anon and Saren. And I don't know if they're going to be able to survive the barrage of damage that can come out of a Reaper, out of a McCree, and a Roadhog, even a Zenyatta if we do see Saren get discorded. That shield, it just won't last.
Well, there is. So Wally trying to hover and then realizing he's getting absolutely wrecked in the air, so he ducked behind the building pretty quickly. That shield is going down already. That shield's gone. That shield did not last very long there for Sauron. He's had to duck away, so immediately problems with the payload. You can see it's just that sneaky Nero Devil. It's just like tucked up behind the payload. It's all right, guys, I got it. I'm going to push it around the corner.
See, Far actually wouldn't be bad at the beginning here if you do get the concussive blast and knock them off the high ground, then punish them because you split the entire enemy team. But Sir Wally hasn't really hit that shot, unfortunately. He still has a decent angle to actually do some good damage, and he's coming around from the backside. But Sons of Flunkyness have already lost a Nom. That's their Roadhog now down, and with Sir Wally coming in here, could be a little bit dangerous.
There's the disruption, tries to blow them apart, but
don't get 1v1 by
it's forced the
Zenyatta.
Reinhardt out of the way, actually. I'm going to spin across to him. It's forced Eru completely, it's put him on the top. Less than ideal, uses his charge in the end to try and get back around that payload. Sticking where it is, Desno comes around the side, he gets himself a double, round the back, make it a triple. Thank you very much. That is going to be the payload secure, and it's in its usual spot. Didn't go any further, so Wally tried the flank, got the disruption down, but there was no follow-up.
Thing is, like he pulled the attention of Rufe. That was it, and then he actually like struggled to even 1v1 him, and I didn't even in the end. And I think Eru, with where he was being knocked up, meant he could actually contest the payload without even being on it. So he saw the payload kind of just sitting there, and he saw Sauron like, why isn't the payload moving? Now Sir Wally going to switch on the Genji, coming from behind, doing some really good damage. Is anyone going to turn around and deal with this guy? Finally they do, but he gets the reflect off to knock the shots back at him.
Yeah, much better change, honestly. Coming away from the Farah, but he's still got to deal with the fact that he's got Desno in his face. Desno now has the ulti radiant waiting to go. Didn't see a great deal coming from that one, though. Earthshatter comes through, but there is no follow-up. The rest of his team not there, and that's the problem when there's a Tracer, because the Tracer's just going to be trying to flank. So they've got a double flanking team at the moment, but they're not flanking together. So again, the point is held, fairly successful, 2 minutes gone, and it's looking like this may well be a very simple job for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, there's just some disconnect between the team, or in the team. Most importantly about like the whole Genji coming in. Like Sir Wally coming from behind, distracting was great. Problem was the rest of his team didn't push in the front. They didn't get a sped up a Nero Devil to actually attack. So he was left by himself, and they died by himself. And the rest of the team was like, okay, now we can engage. Our Genji's died, and obviously that's not going to work out at all. So just maybe a lack of communication within the team is what's really affecting them here.
Well, again, Sir Wally trying to distract around the back, gets around there. Instead, he goes straight into Versful. There's going to be the Transcendence, tries to push on through, but remember, Desno is sitting here on the Death Blossom, just waiting his time. Does he need to use it? I don't even think he does, to be honest. His opposition is just getting drop dead, and Sauron goes down. There's going to be the last man, Stillburn picked off, and Anon's hook. Oh, he's even used the Roadhog. The whole hog's been used. That's just desperation at the end there. Bit of desperation, bit of panic, bit of everything mixed into one, and a bit of uncertainty as a team. It's, you know, this is why teams sign up. This is how you get to test how good you are against certain opponents. Obviously, seeding-wise, both these teams fairly straightforward in the seeding. I think they're very close, actually.
65 and 64.
Yeah, so actually very, very close. Just one seeding difference, but I think we're seeing here big experience differential here. High Noon gonna get popped. Oh, he's bar on the back of them. Versful gets him down, gets himself a double, and Desno picks up yet another double as well. Very easy stuff for the Wolfpack, holding strong, looking like it might well be a 2-0 here, because this currently is not a long distance for the payload.
Well, they're gonna get into overtime at least here on this final push of the attack with 8 seconds left to go. It's just whether or not they can push it anywhere from this rate. PPT Wolfpack don't have really any ultimates up just yet. They're going to have Transcendent soon and the whole hog in just a second or two. But will it be enough in the end is going to be the question. And with them just dropping one by one and not really picking up kills, Silent even killed himself with the Helix rockets, and them charging straight forward will keep him off the payload. Now we'll close out the half. Now PPT Wolfpack, they push the distance and they win.
And that is a short distance. That is
very
not
short.
The big distance they need. So,
I mean, they're even calling GGs.
I think they know. I think they know. I mean, if we were to be fair, it is just I can't go over this point. This is the annoying part. I can't go anywhere now because they've changed it. I can't go out the doors until we hit the 60-second marker. So I'm not allowed to free cam around.
Oh, you look at the beautiful cacti on the ground. I actually have a cacti at home. I have a Venus flytrap at home that's like completely, I swear it's on steroids.
Well, that's because you keep feeding it.
I did cheat it like 4 or 5 flies.
It's meant to catch them itself, but you keep popping flies into it.
Technically true. Technically true. But yeah, so the distance of 54.02 meters is all PPT Wolfpack have to push. And Sons of Flunkyness are going for a little bit of a cheesy route.
Oh, no,
trying to. Okay, I was gonna say the Bastion a little bit cheesy. The Widowmaker, I don't necessarily agree with because you're not gonna have an opportunity to really do any damage before they get to that checkpoint, especially if they're behind a Reinhardt shield. But I think since Flunkyness realized this is probably gonna be over.
Yeah, it's not really too tough to get it pushed. It didn't really go. It didn't reach the statue, the middle roundabout, whatever you want to call it. It's not a fountain. I wanted to call it a fountain, but it's not a fountain. It's more of just a statue in the middle there. So while he's got himself on the high ground, he's actually going pretty aggressive as well. So I'm not sure about that exactly. Sauron's decided to switch, so he's gone back to the Hog. Anon's on the Reinhardt, sitting fairly aggressively, and as they may well have to, because look at that. Look at the goal marker. That is all they've got to reach. That is not a long distance. I'm very confused by the fact there's a Widowmaker here as well.
Well, so they're looking for a really aggressive hold. Being pushed up this far, they're still a little bit late to even get to that position. But they've lost high ground control. He can be flanked by Wolfpack if he wants to go this route. And by actually the entire team, they can leave the payload there, because if they get one wipe, that's basically it. If they get a full team wipe, but the payload's moving, it's Desno going to be sticking on it by himself, and the rest of the team trying to go for the flank.
Here they go, coming through. That's going to be Anden going down. That's the Reinhardt. There's the second one. Nero Devil picked out. The payload's moving, remember. Roofy gets himself a double, and that's going to be the Mercy pushed away, trying to blast away as much as he can, but already they've been pushed away around the side there. Desno dives in. They haven't actually moved the payload. They've stopped it. So Desno decided to stop moving the payload. Now he gets around the back there, gets himself Sawalt down, and now the payload is going to move unhindered. Stillburn, the only man alive at the moment. He's going to get himself the tank back. The Reinhardt's back here, but, well, as you can see, the payload is just around the corner. There it is. They've got to stop it now.
They have to pretty much sit on top of it. The problem is the entirety of PPT Wolfpack are here, so if you go in by yourself, you're not going to have a chance. I know it's going to go down immediately here. The payload's still being contested, so throwing man after man onto it, and they're finally going to be able to pick him up. It was still, actually not even Stillburn, it's the Reaper who's been able to contest it for now. 1 meter left to go, less than a meter to go, and that's going to close it out here. PPT Wolfpack will win, but now, team, I think we can both agree their next opponent is going to be a tad bit more difficult. It's going to be Overwatch Kings.
I mean, we've just got to see them stomp their opponents, and I'm sure it feels good for them. But unfortunately, the same may happen against them. However, we said the same with Ono versus FaZe. You never know. I'm always keeping my options open. Desno there with the Death Blossom, followed by it was Wolfpack from the back as well with the Deadeye. It was a great combo from front and back. There was no escape in there. Very much thrown into the grinder overall. So, congrats to those. And now let's move on to Overwatch King. So, OW King's going to be up against Wolfpack and co. Of the Wolfpack. To keep my German going on.
Oh, Jesus.
Join us after the break, guys. It should be a good one.